Hello again. Welcome back to IELTS with Ralph. Hope you're fine, dear lovely IELTS candidates. All right. If you're preparing for the IELTS writing task 2 and also task 1, and you're struggling with organizing your ideas clearly and smoothly, this video is for you. So today we're going to talk about something that can instantly boost your coherence and cohesion score, and that's linking words. All right, so, guys, linking words, also known as cohesive devices, are key tools to help your essay flow naturally from one idea to the next. But here's the thing. Many students either overuse them, use them incorrectly, or just repeat the same ones over and over again. So in this video, I'll show you how to use a wide range of linking words correctly, avoid the most common mistakes, and sound more academic and natural in your writing. So make sure you stick around till the end, because I'm also going to give you a simple formula that helps you choose the right linker every single time. All right, so let's get started. There are a couple of let's say, linking words based on the idea that you're going to talk about. So it can be adding more information, or sometimes you want to describe a result or contrast. So today we will learn all the linking words necessary for you to boost your score in IELTS Task 2 and also Task 1. So let's start with the first one. Sometimes you want to add more information. All right, so you write one sentence and the sentence after that is you want to add more information. So in this case, there are a couple of linking words. The first one is in addition. In addition. So let's see how we can use this linking word in our paragraph. There is no doubt that banning anyone under the age of 21 from driving a car would cut the number of fatal road traffic accidents. Now, I am going to add more information to the previous one, and I write in addition. And don't forget to use comma after in addition, all right? It would allow the police to concentrate on other forms of crime. Currently, they spend a huge amount of time dealing with young adults who are speeding, driving recklessly, or causing car crashes. So you see how I use in addition in order to add more information. Another word, a linking word that has the same meaning, is additionally. Additionally. So let's see how we can use it in a sentence. Investing government money in scientific research has a number of long-term benefits. It can lead to medical breakthroughs, which allow us all to have longer and happier lives. So this was the first benefit. Now I'm going to talk about the second benefit. I'm adding more information, all right? So I use additionally. Additionally, it can result in innovations which improve the quality of life of everyone on the planet. So sometimes you want to talk about the benefits of something. You mention the first benefit, and for the second one, you can write additionally. It means that you are going to add more information to the previous sentence, right? Next one is moreover. So moreover is something that most IELTS candidates use. Sport is without doubt good for our health. So this is one benefit of sport. Moreover, it is excellent for social development. This is the second benefit of sport. And if I want to connect this sentence to the previous one, and I'm adding some more information, so I use moreover. Another one is furthermore. For example, spending the majority of your time working can be extremely detrimental to your health. Furthermore, so this is one drawback of spending the majority of your time. Now I want to add another drawback of that. All right, the negative side, another negative side. So I write furthermore. Furthermore, it can seriously damage your social and family life. And the last one is the structure, not only, but also. For example, not only do politicians tend to tell lies, comma, but they are also often found guilty of corruption. So you see how I use this structure in order to add more information. Now, sometimes you want to give a list of arguments. A list of arguments. So in one paragraph, sometimes you want to give a list of reasons, a list of arguments. So what phrases, what words, what linking words you can use? Let's talk about them. So, in this paragraph that I'm reading to you, I use firstly, what's more, and lastly, all right, as our linking words. So, let's get started. If we reduced social and economic inequality, it would have profound and positive consequences. So, now I am going to give a list of my arguments, a list of these consequences. So I start with the first one, and my linking word here is firstly. Firstly, closing the gap between rich and poor would benefit the economy as a whole because less well-off individuals would have higher levels of disposable income, which they could spend on goods and services. What's more, so this is the second argument, social tension would be likely to lessen if the distance between the haves and the have-nots became smaller. And the last argument, or the last consequence, I use the linking word lastly. Lastly, and perhaps surprisingly, research has suggested that the more affluent members of society also benefit from greater equality. They too tend to feel more contented if some of their wealth has been transferred to the most vulnerable and needy. So you see, I've used here firstly, what's more, lastly. And sometimes there are four, let's say, arguments. So in this paragraph, I'm going to use four other linking words for listing, for giving a list of arguments. For example, first and foremost, secondly, thirdly, and finally. All right, so let's use them in a paragraph. There are several significant reasons why school children should study physical education as part of their curriculum. So there are several significant reasons. I'm going to give four reasons. So I start with the first one. First and foremost, comma, it is hugely beneficial for their health to play sports and games. Secondly, this is the second reason. There are proven social benefits because playing team sports in particular can help to generate friendships. Thirdly, this is my third reason. Physical education teaches skills which are essential for the workplace, such as teamwork, cooperation, and mutual understanding. Remember something. If you are going to give three reasons, so for the last one, don't use thirdly. So if you use thirdly, it means that there is going to be another one. All right? So if it's the final, you should write finally or lastly. All right? But if you are going to give four reasons, so thirdly for the third one sounds good. All right? And thirdly, physical education teaches skills which are essential for the workplace, such as teamwork, cooperation, and mutual understanding. And the last one, I write finally. And lastly, both are correct. So for the previous paragraph, I used lastly, and here I use finally. Finally, we should never lose sight of the fact that physical activity is, for most youngsters, lots of fun. They actually enjoy it. And there are also other linking words that we can use to talk about or to give a list of arguments. Now, this is another paragraph. And in this paragraph, I've used three linking words. For the first one, I've used in the first place. For the second one, as well as that. And for the last one, last but not least. All right, so let's use them in a paragraph. Making young adults spend a period of time in the Army has numerous advantages. So this is a sample paragraph of advantage or disadvantage of something. So if you are going to give a list of advantages of something, you can use linking words. So for the first advantage, I use this linking word in the first place. In the first place, older teenagers and adults in their early 20s can learn to be disciplined and self-controlled. For the second one, I write as well as that. As well as that, doing military service can teach citizens about their duties and responsibility towards society. And for the last one, I write last but not least. So it means that although this is the last reason or last advantage, it does not mean that it is the least. All right, so it is also as important as the previous ones. Last but not least is the point that when they return to the comfort of civilian life, they will be grateful and appreciate the decent standard of living. Sometimes you want to talk about a result of something, and there are numerous linking words that you can talk about a result of something. I'm going to give you more than 10 linking words to talk about a result of something. All right, so let's get started with the first one. The first one is as a result. Now let's use it in a sentence. War broke out last year. As a result, food prices rose and some products disappeared from supermarket shelves. So this is the way to talk about a result of an event. So this event led to this as a result. The next linking word is as a consequence. It means the same. It means the same as a result. Now let's use it in a sentence. Levels of obesity in the Western world have rocketed over the past couple of decades. As a consequence, don't forget comma, governments now have to invest significantly larger amounts in healthcare than previously. Our next linking word to talk about a result is consequently. Consequently, and don't forget to use comma after that. The river has flooded on several occasions recently. Consequently, many local residents have tried to sell their properties, but there are very few prospective buyers. The next linking word is the consequent. The consequent, and after that we have noun phrase. For example, the amount of junk food eaten has soared since the turn of the century. The consequent rise in levels of obesity and instances of diabetes means that governments are having to invest significantly more in healthcare. So you see how I use the linking word, the consequent of something in this sentence. The next linking word is the resulting, and then we have again noun phrase. Now let's use it in a sentence. Television channels in my country recently screened a movie containing both violence and offensive language. The resulting public outcry suggests that. So, this public outcry is the result of that. So, I talk about this in a way something like this. The resulting, and then noun phrase, public outcry, suggests that as a society, we are troubled by excessive violence on our screens. The next linking word to talk about a result is so. So is also used to talk about a result of something. For example, the quality of the average person's diet has certainly fallen over recent years, so, don't forget that comma is used before so. So the authorities are trying to encourage parents to provide their children with more nutritious meals. Our next linking word to talk about a result is hence. Hence, and don't forget that comma is used before hence. Disposable incomes have increased, hence the sharp rise in the number of families taking holidays in exotic foreign destinations. It means it is the result of that. This is the result of the increase in disposable incomes. Our next word, linking word for to talk about a result is therefore. This is one of the most commonly used linking word in IELTS writing. Therefore, for example, funding for science projects has been cut in recent years. Therefore, there is little chance that any expensive projects will be contemplated anytime soon. Our next linking word to talk about a result is thus. Thus means therefore. It's the same, all right? Animal rights have come to be seen as an important issue for many. Thus, don't forget to use comma after that. Few circuses remain open, and zoos also report lower visitor numbers. Our next linking word to talk about a result is for that reason. For that reason. So let's use it in a sentence. There is no doubt that people are living longer these days. Partly for that reason, government funding of the healthcare system has had to increase significantly. So because of that, for that reason, all right. Our next phrase, linking word, to talk about a result is means that. Something means that. For example, the number of factories located around cities is extremely high, comma, which means that, the sentence after that means that we're going to talk about the result of something, the result of the previous sentence, which means that air quality for city dwellers tends to be unacceptably poor. And our last linking word to talk about a result is to lead to. When we say that something leads to this, A leads to B means that B is the result of A. All right? So let's use it in this sentence. Poverty is a serious issue in many societies. It is believed by many to lead to higher levels of crime and disorder. Good. Now, sometimes we want to talk about a contrast, all right? A contrast, similarity, giving examples. So these will be used in our next video. And in my next video, I'm going to focus again on linking words and how we can use some linking words to talk about a contrast, a similarity, and also giving examples. So until next time, enjoy your time, stay tuned, and goodbye.